में क्या है, if the species have reported decline of 50 to 70%, 50 to 70% in its population, again over previous 10 years, over previous 10 years or 3 generations. Okay, 3 generations. Then it will be included in endangered, right? Or there is a, or there is a criteria for this. There are many, but I am just taking up at least 2. Current adult population size within the species, okay, within the species is less than 250. Then it will be included in endangered. Okay. Then is vulnerable, right? Then is vulnerable. Now vulnerable means, right? Vulnerable means what? If the species have reported decline of 30 to 50%, okay, decline of 30 to 50% population decline is there over previous 10 years or 3 generations. 3 generations. years or 3 generation. Okay. Or current adult population size is fewer than 1000. Okay. Then that is included in vulnerable category. Are you getting? All of you need to understand. But I want you to remember this. That this threatened category, is on the basis of decline in population over previous 10 years, is on the basis of current population, adult population size, but it is even on the basis of geographic region. Okay, so this identification of species to be included is on what all basis? One is, rate of population decline, all these they have asked in prelims. Second is the geographic range, in what all areas they are found, geographic range. Third is adult population size, a small adult. If their adult population size is very small, then that is the way we identify them. Okay. Then right, quantitative analysis, okay, quantitative analysis indicative of risk. if is indicative of risk. Okay. So, these are the criteria on the basis of which we are including the species, and when I say we, meaning IUCN is including the list, including the species in threatened list, and within threatened list there are three categories. One is critically endangered, the other is endangered, and the third is vulnerable. And critically endangered, when the current adult population size is below 50, or the species have reported a decline of 80 to 90% in its population over previous 10 years or 3 generations. Similarly, in endangered, if the species have reported the decline of 50 to 70% of population over previous 10 years or 3 generations, whichever may be shorter. The third is current adult and in endangered, current adult population size should be less than 250. But when it comes to vulnerable, we are including such species where current adult population size is below 1000, or if the species have reported the decline of 30 to 50% population over previous 10 years or 3 generations. And the identification of the species to be included in threatened list, is on the basis of rate of population decline, geographical extent and the range in which the species is found, the small adult population size within the species, and any other quantitative analysis if is indicative towards the very high risk with the species, then they are included in threatened category. So, have you understood? These are the first 5 category. The 6th category is near threatened. 6th category is near threatened, and we are indicating, we are using the symbol NT. Okay. So, we are using this near threatened species which are close to, right, species which are close to becoming threatened. So, they are going to enter into this threatened category. First they will be vulnerable, vulnerable can become endangered, endangered can become critically endangered, and you know very well, if critically endangered level, if we are not able to accelerate the pace of commitment to conserve them, then they may extinct in wild and finally they may extinct. Okay. So, near threatened, okay, meaning species are close to, becoming, right, becoming threatened, in near future. Okay. So, for such species we are using NT, right. This is the 6th category. The 7th category is least concern. We are using the word symbol LC. Okay. So, on the assessment what we have found, that the species which are, right, which are pervasive and abundant, So, too many of them are there, so there is no need to be concerned about them. They are here to stay abundant. Okay. So, we are including such species in which category? LC, least concern. There is no need to so much concern or special concern. We can afford we can afford being least concerned about them, even then they will be there, for many years, as their present or current presence is abundant and they are pervasive. Okay, so this is what is the meaning of least concern. Then next category within IUCN is known as, data deficient. Data deficient. Data deficient. And we are using the word DD, data deficient, DD. Okay, so in this, in the lack of data, IUCN is not in a position to comment much. Okay, so lack of data is there. Lack of data, and because of which risk analysis, risk assessment cannot be performed. Risk assessment cannot be performed. Okay, so lack of data, and because of that, risk assessment cannot be performed. Is this clear? So for such species, if we don't have, if IUCN is finding the data, deficient, data inadequate, if they are of this opinion, that with the kind of data which they have, it would not be appropriate for an organization like IUCN, a global union like IUCN, to comment on the kind of risk which is with the species. So they will include such species in which category? Data deficient category. And last, the ninth category is, not evaluated. Not evaluated. And this is, for this we are using the symbol NE. Okay, NE, not evaluated. Okay, so you remember yesterday I told you that different estimates are indicative of different figures about the species, but we are of this opinion that somewhere around 3 to 10 million species are there on planet Earth, and out of 10, 3 to 10 million species which are on planet Earth, only 1.9 million is known to, known to science. Most of them are even not known to science, but all these species are not being evaluated by IUCN, and those which are not being evaluated by IUCN are included in this not evaluated list. So I would say that not evaluated means species out of 1.9 million species known to science. Species out of 1.9 million species known to science, not assessed by IUCN. Not assessed by IUCN. Not assessed by IUCN. Okay. So many are not being assessed by IUCN. Since they are not being assessed by IUCN, so I would just like you that IUCN is including those species in which category, right? In which category? Not evaluated. Have you understood? Yes or no? From exam point of view, very important. I would just like you to see at the screen. Okay. To see at the screen. So IUCN. Okay. We have discussed everything related with IUCN. Then I told you that since 1964, IUCN is publishing the threatened list, okay, in the form of red data book. And when we say threatened list, actually 9 categories in which they are making assessment for species after studying the status. So the first category is EX, the second category is EW, and I am not much bothered about EX and EW, but within threatened, there are 3 subcategories. One is critically endangered, second is endangered, third is vulnerable. I told you that identification within threatened group is on the basis of rate of population decline and the geographic range and the small adult population size or any other quantitative analysis through which they are able to understand the risk. And critically endangered, I have already discussed with you the criteria for including within critically endangered, the criteria for being included in endangered, the criteria for being included in vulnerable, and outside this threatened, we have near threatened, least concerned, data deficient, not evaluated. So these are the 9 categories. These are the 9 categories in which, right, in which. Now I would just like you to know that because of this pandemic and all, this IUCN red list, IUCN red list. Now this red list last time was published is March 2019. Okay, March 2019. So last time when IUCN has published this, it was in March 2019. And as per March 2019 edition of IUCN red list, there were 1,16,000 species on the red list, right? 1,16,000 species which were in the red list. And many of them, right, many of them definitely from, right, many of them definitely from India as well, okay, many of them definitely from India as well. So I don't want to burden you too much, but if you can remember some of them from India, so critically endangered, okay. Now within critically endangered, if you see mammals, then from India some important one, Himalayan brown or red bear, okay. Then second is pygmy hog, pygmy. This list is very long. I would like you to see on your own. Okay, so pygmy hog. Pygmy hog. Okay, pygmy hog, very, very small wild pig, right? Very, very small, a small wild pig. Then Kondana rat. Kondana rat. You will find this Kondana rat, they are found. You might have heard about Kondana Fort. Okay, so near Pune in Singhar Plateau. Okay, they are found, and they are found only in a very small area, about 1 kilometer inside the fort area. Kondana rat, a very different variety, very different variety of rat. And they are in the rodent family found in India. Okay, so Kondana, rat. Then you will find, right, then you will find within this Malabar civet. You will find it in Kerala, in Travancore area, okay, exclusively in Western Ghats within Kerala, and you will find that they are found in hill slopes of evergreen rainforest, and because of deforestation and commercial plantation, this has reported very significant decline in its number, right? Very, very significant decline in its number. This also include, I am just giving you the important ones. There are many. Okay. I hope you must have heard about Kashmir stag, which is Kashmir stag, like a deer only, but it is known as Hangul. 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 Ridhima Khapra is asking question. What criteria IUCN has left the species? I am not getting your question. On what criteria IUCN has left? 1.9 million species, they are not, they have not been able to even start the assessment process. Okay. They have not been able to even start the assessment process. There will always be limitations with any network, and I am telling you that you just try to understand that we have 3 to 10 million species, and out of 3 to 10 million, only 1.9 million species is known to science. So we need to further accelerate the research. And nowadays, like you only, many other youngsters have very less interest in going for higher studies and research. सबको आजकल जल्दी नौकरी चाहिए, पैसा कमाना है, पोजीशन चाहिए, पावर चाहिए. This is a problem which we are facing in different parts of the world. The world will have to think together that how they can attract the talented youth towards research. And this is the reason why our Prime Minister gave the slogan, Lal Bahadur Shastri gave the slogan, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. Atal Bihari Vajpayee added one in that, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, Jai Vigyan. And now Prime Minister Modi, right? Prime Minister Modi has added Jai Jawan, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, Jai Vigyan, Jai Anusandhan. Susant is saying 10 to 30 million. Yes, 10 to 30 million only. Okay, so don't go by the figure, that is an estimate. 1.9, 1.7 million known to science, and 10 to 30 million species may be there in the world. So until and unless we scale up the research, until and unless we are able to attract talented youth, always we will have limitations as far as assessment is concerned, evaluation is concerned. So many of the species which are newly discovered, for them even the IUCN has not been able to start the evaluation. Okay, that is how they are included in not evaluated, meaning IUCN is aware that this has been discovered as new species. Okay, and definitely there is a need to start the assessment process, and assessment process is, it's a complex process, it's a time consuming process, it requires skilled manpower, it requires very, very committed volunteers. Okay, so that is there. So Kashmiri stag, then one very important from Arunachal, Namdhapa flying squirrel. Namdhapa. So they fly from one branch to other branch, from one tree to other tree, Namdhapa. Flying squirrel. Okay, and like that, right, like that others are there. Okay, like that others are there. So what I am just interested, if you want to add one more, ये भी पूछा है एक बार, अंडमान white toothed shrew. So you will find them on the South Andaman Island. Okay, and they are active by twilight or in the night. Okay, they are active by twilight or in the night, and habitat loss has led to massive reduction in their population. So important ones. Okay, important ones. Okay, so critically endangered, right? Critically endangered mammals, I told you, right? I told you critically endangered mammals. If you see critically endangered birds, then white-bellied, their stomach or the belly is white color, so that is why they are known as white-bellied heron. Okay, so you will find them in Assam, in Arunachal Pradesh, in Bhutan as well, right? In Bhutan as well, and 1 and 2 of them, sometime we can see them even in Myanmar. So they will find, you will find them coming to rivers with sand and gravels, and in inland lakes. Okay, and in inland lakes. And again, the loss and degradation of lowland forest and wetland has led to the decline. So white-bellied heron, right? White-bellied heron. Then we have Jerdon's cruiser. And I hope some of you, this is again what we see for some civil service aspirants, that bird watching as their hobby. Some of the people who are nature lover. So Jerdon's cruiser, right? Jerdon's cruiser. In India you will find them in Andhra Pradesh. but now very, very limited numbers, very limited numbers. And primarily they have been the victim of poaching and trapping and as well as quarrying and construction within river canals. Okay, so that is why they now are in the list of critically endangered. Okay, then we have this Bengal florican. It is one of the type of bustard only. Bengal florican. Okay, one of the type of bustard only. 4 types of bustards are found. So this is one type of bustard. You will find them in India and Nepal. Okay, in India you will find them in Uttar Pradesh and in northeastern part of India. Okay, Bengal florican. And again, habitat loss and the changing form of agriculture is responsible for decline in their number. Then we have Himalayan quail, Himalayan quail. Okay, so you will find them mostly in the steep hillsides and they are found in western Himalayas. So Himachal Pradesh, okay, Himachal Pradesh areas you will find Himalayan. So this is there. Then we also have pink-headed duck. Okay, pink-headed duck, pink-headed duck. So that is, that is also in critically endangered. Then Siberian crane. At one point of time, okay, it's a very important migratory bird and it will breed in winters in the wetlands in India, particularly in Keoladev National Park. You remember Keoladev, yesterday I told you, is in the Montreux record. So significant, and primarily they have become the victim of pesticide pollution. Use of pesticide has led to death for, Siberian crane, and now they are in that, category. Then we have spoon-billed sandpiper. All of you might in your child days would have seen, but no more we are able to see them. Spoon-billed. Important ones I am telling you. Sandpiper. Okay, so these are some of the, these are some of the critically endangered, critically endangered birds within the red list of IUCN from India. Okay, now if you see critically endangered reptiles, critically endangered reptiles, critically endangered reptiles. Then within this we have gharial. Gharial